You have your own get out of jail free card. Yeah, think about it. When you participate in a certain behavior, you overdrink, you use drugs, we've created emotional get out of jail free cards. You lash out at somebody, angry and upset because you have a fear of being taken advantage of. Your emotional get out of jail free card is, oh, I was just having a bad day. It's just how I am. For individuals who I work with, there is a common theme. Some of the women that I work with, I say, oh, I was doing great. I didn't drink for a whole month. And then I hung out with a guy. I'm like, okay. And then they tell me, well, we just drank and I did some things. Okay. I understand that we're all human and that we have desires, right? I get that. I recently heard that guys think about sex 19 times a day. Females think about sex 10 times a day. Drinking, though, is the emotional get out of jail free card. How many times have you told somebody, I know I have, oh, I was drinking and that's why I made the bad decision. I used it as my emotional band-aid. I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't drinking. Text the old relationship, an old spouse. Oh, I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't drunk. You see, we create these emotional get out of jail free cards because we don't like to be held accountable. We don't like to be held accountable because the information in front of us says that we messed up. I said I wasn't ever going to go do this again. But because somebody pissed me off, I went and did it. Here's my real life example. A few weeks ago, I stopped smoking. I know that for me, family is a huge trigger. There's certain family members who I see and I automatically just want to do dumb things. To avoid doing those dumb things, I would do less of a dumb thing. So for instance, this past weekend, I went to a family event. One of the family members were having some tension. I choose to stay away from them and their partner. In this environment, they sought me out when I was hanging out with some of my little cousins, and they began to ask me some questions because they knew that around my little cousins, I wasn't going to correct them in an adult fashion. I find it very comical that that's how they want to play their game. I also have no peace for that type of conduct. Like, to me, it's very childish. He won't write me a message. You won't ask to go meet up with me. But when you're around when you know I'm around these kids, you're gonna say some dumb things. That's their emotional maturity level. However, they exited the situation after they knew that they weren't going to get anything out of me. The emotional reaction that they wanted to get so that they could validate, oh yeah, that's why we don't get along, because look at him acting the way he is. I used to act out. I'd be drinking, they would say something dumb. I come back 2 times as dumb. Get their chest puffed out in front of me, I'm like, bro, I'm going to knock you out. That's how I used to conduct myself. And they would always blame, well, Nico's drinking, and that's how come he does That's how come he acts so wild and how come he's so cocky. Now, they know I don't drink. Used to be I just go out and smoke after interacting with them. But now I don't do that anymore. I would blame them too. My emotional get out of jail free card was so and so and so and so didn't say these comments, then I wouldn't be out here smoking. My justification for doing that behavior was based on someone else's actions. My emotional get out of jail free card would be blame. We each have an emotional get out of jail free card that we choose to use when it benefits us. You can't have that. You got to take accountability for the emotions that you have and let them pass or act on them. At this point in time, if I were to act on my emotions, I would probably do some physical damage to some people. I would be responsible for that. They wouldn't. I would pay the consequences for it. They wouldn't. I would have to deal with the repercussions. They wouldn't. Would it feel awesome? Oh yeah, it would. Is it something that I can do? Yeah. I choose not to though, because my emotional get out of jail free cards, they've all been used up. I have to have a certain moral of conduct, code of conduct that I work from. And that code of conduct is that nobody's going to get me to act a certain way because I'm the one that gets to choose how I respond. And I don't have the emotional get out of jail free cards of, well, I had to deal with so and so, so that's what I'm going to do blank. Do you know what your emotional get out of jail free card is? Because we all have them. The question is, are we going to use them or not?